Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brittany, and if this is your first time stumbling across one of my videos, I usually focus on fashion, beauty, luxury, lifestyle, fragrances, and pretty much whatever else I feel like talking about. So if that seems like something that you may be interested in, go ahead and click on that subscribe button if you enjoy the content, of course. Also, if you're already a subscriber, go ahead and click on that notification bell so that you do not miss an upload from me. Okay, y'all, so welcome back to the Fashion Edit, where fashion gets judged, edited, and occasionally splurged on. This is my series where I talk about all things new in fashion, and today we are going to be talking about Matthieu Blazy's new collection for Chanel, Cruise 2026/2027. You guys, of course, we all have thoughts right now. He is the hottest thing going right now. So much conversation around the new Chanel collections that he has worked on, and this one is no exception. So I did watch the runway show, and of course I have thoughts as a Chanel girl. I love Chanel down. As you can see, I tried to give my little Chanel inspired look today. So I just have on like my old Chanel hoops, and then this tweed top is so cute. This I got from White House Black Market, y'all, so I'll link it down below just in case you do not want to give Matthieu Blazy your coin. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, I did watch the runway show, and I've also been getting a lot of teasers. My essay sent me over some photos, and then also, of course, Instagram and TikTok has been going crazy with posting kind of like little teasers and things that are from the collection. I have a couple of prices here that we'll talk about, but more importantly, I just want to talk about the aesthetic of the Matthieu Blazy collection, especially for the Cruise collection that just came out, because I do feel like there's been so much discourse about Matthieu Blazy's collections and how he's not really catering to the loyal Chanel client, but more so trying to bring in a younger audience. So we'll discuss that, and I do have a few thoughts on it. But you guys know I like a fun piece, so Cruise collections are always my favorite. Those have been some of the best archive pieces throughout the years when Karl Lagerfeld was over Chanel. So you already know the Cruise collection is very serious to the Chanel lovers out there. Even if you're not splurging on the pieces, we love to look at them and ogle over them. Okay, so let's start off with the show overall. Aesthetically, it was so beachy, so fun, very resort, and it was held in Biarritz, France. If you don't know, that is where Chanel opened up her first house. I believe it was in 1915, if I'm not mistaken. So I really do love how he pulled from the heritage of Chanel and really brought it into this collection, which brings me to the first piece that I want to talk about. And it may be one that I should leave for last, but it was just so good to me that we have to discuss. And it is this very chic coat, you guys. I love the chic silhouette. I do feel like this is very Chanel 1960s vibes, but you have the background of Biarritz, France on this, and it just makes it super fun, a very resort, very like, you know, kind of cheeky. Now, am I going to wear a resort background on a coat? Probably not. And I do think that's where it gets a little bit tricky with some of the clothing pieces that were featured in the Cruise collection, because it's like we're debuting Cruise, but the pieces are giving winter. Okay, it's giving fall winter, because you don't wear a coat usually that is going to have that print on it, you know, during the time that you would actually need a coat, if that makes any sense. But I guess it kind of depends on where you are located. If you are located in a very cold climate, maybe that would be your way of like, you know, getting a piece of the sun. But it's super cute. I loved it. I also love, like I said, the homage to the heritage of Chanel, and it's genius. It's really nice. Love the silhouette of this, very classic, very chic silhouette. So I do enjoy this coat. Now, I don't have the price point on it, but I can only imagine it's through the roof. The other thing that I really appreciated while watching this show was the diversity and the inclusion that I noticed on the runway, you guys. I really enjoyed seeing like the more mature woman sporting her natural gray hair. I also enjoyed seeing a woman that was pregnant on the runway, and she looked so cute, so chic. But then we also had, you know, a mix of races as well. So as someone who does love Chanel, and we all know the history, I do appreciate him bringing in a little bit of diversity in that way. And I think it's very tasteful, and it did not feel performative in my opinion, because sometimes they can go overboard. And listen, don't get me wrong, I know that runway shows are supposed to be over the top and the messaging is for interpretation. But I do feel like sometimes these designers, creative directors, they go over the top when it comes to trying to prove a point or be too woke. This felt very natural. It felt relaxed and effortless, and I love that. That is also how I'm viewing this collection in a way. They do have some campy pieces in here, but overall it feels relaxed and effortless, and I can appreciate that. One thing I did notice was the silhouettes of some of these pieces are definitely giving me Miu Miu. They're giving me Bottega, heavy influence from Bottega, just a lot of the different brands. And I do think that that is something that I can appreciate when it comes to the newness of it all. But I do feel like some of the pieces don't feel very Chanel. But listen, this could be a whole new era. This could be the turn of Chanel, and that could be a good or a bad thing. Let me know down in the comments what y'all think as far as like him bringing in the new silhouettes. I don't mind it, but I do think it's super important to have a mix of some of those more tailored feminine pieces and, you know, some of his like newer ideas. And I'm not going to show you every single thing, but we're just going to go over some of my favorite looks. The first one here that I want to talk about is the lady who is pregnant. She looks so fresh, so effortless, so cute. I just love this look, and I love like the oversized jacket that she's wearing. Love the colorway. I do feel like this is a jacket that you can wear in your collection and have in your wardrobe for years and years to come. He did keep those classic gold Chanel buttons that we love, but I just love the fit of this on her. And also I'm loving the skirt with this. It has like just kind of like a wrap detailing, but it's a high split. Now I'm not sure if anything will be tweaked when it's sold. You know how they do things, but I really enjoy this, and I feel like you can wear each one of these pieces separately or together. That is one thing that I am loving about this collection, that the pieces are good enough to kind of stand on their own. And I love that, because as a regular girl, I'm never out here spending $100,000 on these clothes. Okay. Like I don't have the money to go out and just buy every single item to make it work, if that makes sense. So I love, love, love this. I also noticed he did the pop of red with the Chanel earrings, and those are cute. I do feel like the jewelry has been a little too cheeky for my taste, but we'll get into that. Love these shoes too. These are some black and white kind of like 50s, 60s inspired shoes. They seem to be like a flat shoe, which would be appropriate, I guess, for a, you know, woman who is pregnant or expecting. But I love the shape of these. These are super cute, and it's definitely something different for Chanel. He also brought in a new way of doing the logo on these shoes, and we'll see that more in other like clothing pieces. But I'm loving the like ambiguous kind of Chanel logo. Okay. And as a logo girl, you know, I didn't know if I would love that, but I really do enjoy it because it feels a little bit more fresh. So this next look is very interesting. I do feel like this is something that we would have seen with Karl Lagerfeld. So we have a knit romper, very Chanel-esque, okay? And then we also have, it looks to be a swim cap. Now I wonder if this is knit or if this is literally like a rubber swim cap. I wouldn't be shocked, because Matthieu Blazy likes to do things, okay? So we have that, but then we also have the Chanel rain boots, and you guys know the girls have been going crazy over the rain boots, the short ones. But this time he did these super long thigh-high rain boots, and I have to admit, I'm loving the colorway of these. These are the all white with blue trim, the classic black Chanel logo, and then you have a green sole. I think it's super fun, but I'm not a fan of these thigh-high rain boots, okay? I think they are very cute and fun, and I definitely think the girls will be going up for these and looking for these tall thigh-high boots maybe 2 or 3 years ago. My hairstylist actually has them in like this beautiful olive green, and they look really good on her. I saw a lot of girls with the all black with the white, you know, piping. So these are definitely going to be a piece that I feel like is going to be highly sought after, and I understand it because it is like a fun Chanel piece, and it's definitely like archival in my opinion, okay? But it's not my personal style. And then they just paired it with like a classic black leather Chanel belt with gold detailing. I have a feeling that we are going to see a lot of the girls trying to get their hands on this romper as well, because it's giving like classic Chanel, but also just like a one and done type of piece. I do find that the pieces that are easier to style, or that you don't have to style at all, seem to be the ones that we see a lot of people wearing, unless you're like this huge influencer or this celebrity that's, you know, gifted the pieces. Okay, so yeah, that's interesting. On the runway, when he did the black romper, he also paired it with a tweed jacket. Not my favorite silhouette, but I do enjoy this tweed jacket, especially the detailing on it, because it has like the shells and all that on there, along with the Chanel gold buttons. I also love the colorway of this. It's giving like some teal, maybe some coral or red, I can't really tell, with black and then white. This is a fun color for a nice classic tweed jacket, and I do like the addition of the shells. Now, I'm not sure if these are brooches or if they come on the jacket, but I wouldn't be surprised because he's doing a lot of charms on his pieces. This next look, y'all, is me down to the toe, okay? I love it so much. So first up, we have this gorgeous Chanel jacket. It's more of a cropped, relaxed fit jacket, and y'all know how I feel about a crop. It's also more of a cream off-white or either white. I can't really tell here with the Chanel gold buttons. I can't really tell what the material is, but I do know that it's not tweed, and it does seem to be of a lighter weight. It seemed to have had a little bit more movement to it, which I can appreciate, especially for resort wear. It's still giving that 1940s, 50s kind of vibe, that silhouette. Super nice. It also has that kind of ambiguous Chanel logo on the sides. Love that detailing because it just makes it look a little bit fresh, and I love the cuff detailing on this jacket as well. Underneath, he paired it with a gorgeous like knit polo with the Chanel logo right under the chest. Fabulous. I already know that this is going to be a piece that is so highly sought after, you guys, because who does not want a cute little Chanel top that they can wear years and years from now, especially a knit one with a cute little Chanel logo on it, and it's knitted in. It's not like an applique or anything like that. I love this with the gold buttons. It's something that is so classic, so just like kind of everyday, but it's elevated. And yes, it is elevated because it's Chanel. I do feel like this polo would be cute without the logo, but the logo actually makes the polo, you know what I mean? And then he paired it with some leather, like long line shorts. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I love this. And the shorts are like either a burgundy or a brown. I couldn't really tell, but I live for it. I also love like the really thick waistband with these gold button detailing. It's giving like sailor, but then the leather. Oh my goodness. Everything about this is delicious. It's scrumptious. I'm eating it up. Okay. I love this so much. And then on the shoe, we have an off-white pump with a nice flared thick heel, but we also have that green that he has brought into this cruise collection as the toe cap. Live for it. I live for it. I love the color combo of this. I love the relaxed fit of this. I love the chicness of it all, but it's so effortless. This is fabulous. This whole look gets a 10 out of 10. And then for the handbag, it's giving like an alligator print, kind of like shoulder bag, but it's like an east-west moment as well into that. Okay, I wouldn't necessarily get the brown alligator bag in this style, but they do have another bag with like different materials that we'll get to that I love. Okay, but this outfit all the way down, I mean from literal neck to toe, is a 10 out of 10 for me. I want that polo real bad. Next up, he brought in another material as well. I don't think this is tweed, but I really can't tell, you guys. This is another skirt set. I am living for this jacket. So we have some yellow, some black, some white with the gold buttons. I love the frayed kind of trim on this. So nautical, so beautiful. I love this. This is very classic as well. Something that you can have from the collection that you can pull for pretty often because of the colorway, the way that this sits on the body. It's fabulous. And then he has it paired with the matching skirt. Still kind of like that wrap detailing where your thigh will be exposed when you walk with the gold button. I love this look. I love it. Now, I would probably only pick up the jacket. I feel like that would be a forever piece for me. Or you can do the skirt and you can pair that skirt with just like a white tank top, black tank top, white t-shirt. You know what I mean? Like you can really wear these pieces and have each one of them be a statement. Or if you have it like that, you can buy both and wear it as a suit, and it's so chic, a nice summer suit. I'm not sure if the material is too heavy though. That's my only concern, but this is fabulous. And then they paired it with these two like raffia bags. Now, these bags were out in the prior collection with like the shaggy kind of raffia, fringe raffia, my bad, not shaggy, but like more of the fringe raffia. So he has the Kelly with the fringe, and it's like black and white. And then there's a newer bag that it seems to be debuting, which is more of a bucket bag with that same kind of like fringe raffia. Those are not my favorite bags, okay? They're very specific, but I do think they're standout pieces. Now, here are some shoes that I have my eye on. I have not seen these on the website, but I love them. So it's more like a lattice print or check, kind of like woven detailing of leather on the mule. These are the metallic ones. So they have the mixed metallics, which is gold and silver. And it has like a small little, you know, that like square flat heel. If I can find a better picture than what I'm seeing here, I will definitely post it. But I love the style of this shoe, and I definitely will be looking for this shoe. This is a shoe that I feel like is an easy throw on for summer when you don't want to show your toes. Classic, like fun, and depending on the colorway, it could be a classic Chanel like look, because when you do the fun things, I feel like my motto is always fun silhouette, classic colors, fun silhouette. You know what I mean? That's how I determine on how I'm going to purchase my pieces that are higher end. And as a trendy girl, I do want the trend, but I still want it to be something that I'm going to be excited to pull for in the future. Here's another example of that like ambiguous Chanel logo. So this is going to be a knit two-piece set. I think this is so chic. I love how this lays on the model. Okay, so we have a nice sweater with the red piping. It's like a boat neck, so very cruise. Okay, but then you have that red kind of like ambiguous logo right there in the center. Really cute. I can definitely see the more classic Chanel buyer enjoying this, and I can tell that this is going to be a beautiful feeling sweater. Like, it looks so soft and so good. So yeah, we have the red detailing. I'm sure this will come in black and white as well. And then he has it paired with the same colorway in the knit skirt. And this has 3 buttons on it with the Chanel logo. This is so cute. Very like classy, very classic. It's just an updated twist. I do feel like the people who have not been enjoying his collection would enjoy these 2 pieces. This is very classic Chanel. So next up, let's talk about some of these linen pieces. Okay, so here we have, I believe it's a linen dress, more of a mini dress. I like this a lot. Now, looking at this, I would never think that this is Chanel. To me, this is definitely giving more of a Bottega vibe. Maybe even Loewe. Loewe doesn't do color this much, I don't think, or in this way, but it's not giving Chanel at all. I think the only indicator that this is Chanel is the little buttons on the pockets and how they do those little slit pockets in the front, which I do enjoy this a lot. I think this is perfect for resort wear, and I love the color combination. I just love like how this looks in general. And we also have another pair of shoes that seem to be debuting, and these are black and white, and they are mimicking waves, you guys. This is a mule that's mimicking waves. Live for it. Y'all know I'm a shoe girl, so I'm gravitating towards all the shoes, and I can appreciate the clothing, honey, but the shoes are what's calling my name. I love these so much. And then he paired it with the straw bag of this collection that I saw so many different models wearing. It's an oversized straw bag that gives you like a Loewe or, you know, just a beach bag, but it has the colored stripes, and this is quite expensive. We'll get into those prices in the end. Okay, next we have this Canadian tuxedo. Okay, Matthieu Blazy loves a Canadian tuxedo. This one for me is a miss. It is a full Canadian tuxedo that is sequin. I mean, I can totally see like Rihanna wearing this or something like that, but to me, it's just not a standout something that's necessary. So yeah, this is just not really a hit for me. You know what I mean? It's going to be a pass on this one for me personally. But I think it is a fun piece. I just don't see myself wanting either one of these pieces and being like, this is my Chanel archive. Maybe the denim top, I guess, because it's kind of like oversized or whatever, but nah. And then he also has the pouch bag, that suede that came out in the last collection paired with this. So fairly understated accessories, and even the shell that's underneath with the Chanel logo. It seems to be silk, But, you know, we have this kind of like gaudy, I would say sequin Canadian tuxedo. Definitely very Balenciaga if you ask me. Next up, we just have a classic girl. Okay, this is the fashion girl's power suit. It's fabulous. I mean, oh, I love this. Now, it's very classic Chanel as well. A little bit more on that oversized look though. So not necessarily classic Chanel silhouette, but classic Chanel in the way that this looks. The jacket is fabulous. Okay, it's all white with black piping with the Chanel buttons. Love the collar on this. Love the skirt. Same skirt as all the others. Love that little split. And I love how they did a black top underneath. This is so good for the woman who is the boss. Okay, she's the CEO of the company. I just see her now walking through New York all the way up to the top, you know, where her office is, looking absolutely fabulous. And then we added a pop of color with, I believe these are coral reef earrings. I can't really tell. It looked like a pepper on the runway, but I know it's not because this is cruise, right? So it's either some type of fish or something. Okay, y'all, so next up we have another one of my favorite pieces. Now this is another polo. I've been into polos, I told y'all that. And I do have a hard time styling them to make them more glam. So I'm loving these ideas that I am getting from this runway show because I live for the polo look. It's so like, I don't know, so collegiate, but like effortless, but then kind of like preppy. I just love it. Okay, so this one, I know the girls are gonna go up for this one. Not just the girls, but the girls who, you know, they are into a piece, okay? Because this polo seems to have more of a scarf detailing on the top. Oh, y'all, it's so good. So it's burgundy. It has the blue and the black and the yellow stripe detailing. Very good. And then that's carried at the hem of the shirt as well. So that scarf detailing makes it very resort, but then you get that collegiate kind of preppy look with the polo detailing. Love the colorway on this. Love the fit of this. I just love everything about it. You can pair this with a pair of slacks, go into the office if your office permits, or you can pair this with like a cute little skirt like they did here. You can pair it with some jeans just to dress it all the way down. Like this is a piece that I do feel like it's a standout piece, but something that you can wear over and over in your collection that you would be happy to pull out from years from now, and also still maybe an archive piece, y'all. This is really cute. And I do appreciate that everything is not skin tight. I love that. So we also have this paired with a scarf style wrap skirt that is silk as well with the Chanel logos on it. This one is more of a nude color or beige with the blue, and it's carried out through the same like colorway with that light blue and the black and the burgundy and the white trim. It's just so good. I love this so much, y'all. I just love the color combination of this. So yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite looks as well. And polos were very popular in this collection because this next polo has that same Biarritz, France backdrop, and it also has Chanel herself in this. I love that. Okay, so this seems like a heavier knit. Love the button detailing on this. This is definitely a piece of art, something more of like a collector's piece in your collection. I love this. It's really nice. And I also love how they paired it with this more flared skirt, and it has the raffia underneath. Yes, for the details. Okay, so the skirt is striped. Love that. Bringing in that burgundy and that cream, but underneath we have this raffia. Now I'm not sure if that's how the skirt is made, or maybe he just threw that underneath for more interest, like similar to like a petticoat or something like that, but it gives it so much movement, you guys. And that yellow raffia, it is so resort, it is so cruise, it is fun. I love this so much, but I also love how relaxed it is. It's almost like the lady is not even wearing makeup. She's a woman of a mature age as well. I just live for that. And speaking of that raffia kind of being underneath and giving things more movement, y'all, he had this leather dress. This leather dress is epic, okay? A full leather dress with Chanel logos on the straps, on the sides, and it's kind of like a slight drop waist, not too much, so it gives shape, but it's not tight to the body. Live for it. Now, this is where the large beach bag came in. This is a straw handbag, and she is big. Very much reminds me of when Karl Lagerfeld did the oversized hula hoop bag. Yeah, but then when it was sold, you know, it was like a more scaled down version. So maybe that's what this is giving, because I don't think this oversized beach bag will be available except for like to the highest end clients. But they do have another version on the website where they're giving prices and all the things. Now, going back to the original coat that we talked about that showcases barrettes as like the backdrop, we have to talk about the outfit underneath. I do feel like this is good. This is given early 2000s, kind of like handkerchief style. This is a silk shell, the same shell that we saw previously, but this one is burgundy with white trim with the Chanel logo in the center, and then it's with that scarf skirt as well. I love this. Now, I'm wondering if this is an actual skirt or a scarf that you can buy and maybe wear it in different ways. That would be genius. You know, that would be nice, because then the price will come down on it. It's probably going to be about $500 to $600, and or maybe $1,500 depending on the size of that scarf. And then you can just, you know, tie it up or put a little button or something on it. You can kind of mix and match with that. That would be nice. But I do think that this is a real skirt, if I'm not mistaken. So then he paired it with the pink bag, y'all. This pink raffia, or is it beaded? I can't tell because I'm only seeing it on the runway. But the pink bag, she's a nice oversized. It looks jumbo, but it's not as long. It's more of a east-west, I guess, but it's just, it looks like a medium, but it's thicker. That's the only way I can explain it. Live for it, okay? The pink bag. Also, let's take note of the shoes. Y'all went crazy for the thong flip-flop. Well, Mr. Blazy has come out with the thong sandal with a little bit of a kitten heel, and this one has a strap on the back. They are in white paired with this look, but I also saw them in black. So it's the same exact thong flip-flop, just with the strap on it and a little baby kitten heel. I feel like those are going to fly off the shelves as well. Now, let's get into what I was pretty much shocked to see. The newspaper print, you guys. The newspaper print. The first thing I thought about was John Galliano for Dior. I mean, we think about Sex and the City. We think about Carrie Bradshaw wearing that newspaper print dress. This is giving that, but the Chanel version. So first up, I think this is a two-piece, if I'm not mistaken. No, this is a dress. So I think it's a dress. I really can't tell, y'all, but this is pretty much like a ruffled newspaper print dress, or either two-piece, and it just has ruffles on the collar, down the middle, and around the hem. And then he did a suit in the same newspaper print. I can appreciate it. Love the top. Love the skirt, especially the skirt. That is something that I would add to my collection, you know, if I had the opportunity to, because it's so nice, but also a statement piece that I said, like before, you can wear it with a tank, you can wear it with a top, you can kind of make it a little bit more understated by pairing it with different things, maybe a coat on top. So they did it with the full look here with the newspaper coat, the same silhouette as the original coat with the barrettes background. Live for this, okay? Live for it. And then we have those waves coming through again, which is back to cruise on the shoe. And this seems to be a pump, okay? So I like this a lot. I really do. It feels fresh, but it definitely feels like he took a page out of John Galliano's book, okay? Not mad about it. And then he just paired it with an understated brown oversized Chanel handbag with the chain. You know, you can't go wrong with that, okay? She's a classic. Now, speaking of that newspaper print, he also has this in another coat, but then on top is fishing net. Now, this is where it gets fun, okay? I love a fun piece. Now, will I be adding it? No, it's probably $17,000, but I do enjoy the creativeness behind this, because the pieces are now encapsulated in fishing net, which is so cruise, which is so fun, so like camp. I'm obsessed with that, okay? So again, we have the coat with the newspaper print with that red fishnet on top. And then in this look, he did the barrettes background with it being encapsulated with the fishnet. How cool is that, y'all? I just love it. I think it's fun. Not something that, you know, I would have in my personal collection, but if you're a collector, I already know the people will love this. This is really good. And then back to that newspaper print again, he did just like a full kind of gown, more of a black tie type of look, but the newspaper print for me is just a little too casual for this type of dress. Now, I can see somebody maybe wearing this to the Met. You know, the Met is coming up, so I can definitely see that happening. And then in that same silhouette for the dress, he did it in a full black with this like large bow kind of like hat, almost veil like, you know, situation on top. Is definitely giving like sea urchin, or I don't know, Ursula or something like that under the sea. But it's also like a very chic funeral outfit. That's what it's given to me. Okay, it's not like screaming Chanel by any means, but you know, visually interesting, I will say. And also when it comes to the coats, all of the coats I did notice were in the same silhouette, and we have a full leather quilted version. Now this one makes the most sense. Okay, I know it's cruise and this is giving winter vibes because it's even paired with my favorite shoes. Now these are in the black and white version. My gosh, yes. But they have it paired with a suede bag and a, you know, like a burgundy leather bowling style bag. But this coat is going to be a piece. Okay, full quilted Chanel quilt is giving lambskin. Beautiful collar, and this time it looks like they did the gunmetal hardware for the buttons. This is for the edgy girls. I live for this coat, okay? I am very curious to see how much this will cost, but this coat is going to be a timeless piece. Timeless. It's fabulous. I think I would have preferred more of the classic Chanel gold buttons, okay? I do live for the gunmetal, but they need to do both versions, in my opinion. Okay, now those are like some of my favorite looks, you guys, things that really caught my eye. But now we got to get into some of the things that I just felt like, what are we doing? It's going to be these footless shoes. I'm confused. What are, and I'm at a loss for words. At what point would we need a shoe that only covers our heel, but the footbed is completely bare? I don't even understand that for walking through, I guess, the sand, but why would my heel need to be covered and not my foot? Do you know what I mean? So it's looking like, you know, the old classic thong kind of sandals that had the strap around the back. Well, this time the whole heel is enclosed with a hard bottom, metallic gold Chanel logo, but your whole foot is exposed. That's crazy. I don't get that one. Came in black as well. If you're interested, you can tie it up in the front, and that's how you keep that shoe on your foot. I don't see how that is going to work, okay? I really don't. Another pair of shoes that I just can't get with, and this is just personal style, not because it's not cute. It could be cute to somebody else, but we have the Chanel netted mules. Now there's a few different versions of this, okay? We have the netted mule that's plain and it has a pointed toe and a chunky heel. I cannot stand a pointed peep toe. I don't like that look. That is just one thing. I don't know what it is about a pointed peep toe. Turns me completely off. That's why I could not get with the Miss Z mules. I had to go for the Me Dollies when it came to the Christian Louboutins. I just can't. So I already don't like this, okay? I do wish that the toe was not pointed. Otherwise, I think I would like it. So that's just the regular one. And they do have, like, again, that chunky block heel. I can see a lot of people getting these. These retail for $1,500, okay? But then he has another version of these, which has a strap a little bit above on the foot, and it has kind of like the red beading, kind of giving like coral reef. And then we also have the starfish, we have some shells, just different little things that would be in the ocean as charms hanging off. And then you're going to bring your price point up to a whopping $2,750, okay? $2,750 for a few little charms. This is given a charm necklace that I already have in my collection, and it definitely was nowhere near that. Yeah, so that's when it starts to get weird. Now, these shoes do come in black and like an off-white or either pure white. I can't tell, but definitely the black and the white in both versions, okay? So those are the shoes. And then they have a kitten heel version. Same like chunky heel, but it's a shorter heel. I like this one better. I think it looks better. And then they also have a flat version, okay? So those are $1,450. And then the flat version is $14.50 as well. So whether you get a kitten or a completely flat shoe, you're gonna still pay $14.50. Now they also brought back those quilted ballet flats that had the Chanel logo on them. They were all black quilted with white logo, or either all white quilted with the black logo. So those are back, but he did change the foot, the silhouette of the toe. I'm not a fan of that. I haven't seen these in person, but my essay does have these today, so I will go and look at them. But these are the ballet flats. They are a little bit more bulbous, okay? A little bit more round, very much Dries Van Noten inspired, in my opinion, as far as the shape of the shoe, and maybe Margiela kind of tabby vibes, you know what I mean? So definitely bringing it more current, but I think that the chicness of that shoe, it was already fun, but the chicness was in the silhouette, and now it's just a little bit too wide for my taste. But these come in at $1,225 if you're interested. They come in the black and the white. They come in the white with the black, and then they also come in the burgundy with the light blue. I like that colorway, I do. And I know so many of the girls missed out on the Chanel thong flip-flops, but they do have a new pair out. Now these are a little bit more dressy, as they have like a thicker leather silhouette, you know, and they do still have the Chanel logo, but they're just a little bit more dressy, and the leather is a bit more shiny. It is lambskin, and these come in at $1,175. So if you did miss out on just like the classic easy going little flip-flop, these are nice. I do think these are really good. And the Chanel logo is a little bit larger. So if you don't want something so understated, you can go for these. And I feel like you can dress these up a little bit more too. The others were just a little bit more casual, just basically a regular old flip-flop with a Chanel logo slapped on it. So yeah, these are more of a sandal if you ask me. And then of course we have some ballet flats that came out. Some have some beading and fun colors, mesh. She's been doing a lot of the mesh ballet flats, which I'm obsessed with. I just refused to buy another pair because I told y'all before, my Chanel ballet flats that I bought, I went up a size, and honey, they're too big. So maybe my foot's just not made for them. But yeah, I also found a better picture of the shoes that I told y'all I loved. I don't know the price point. This is still on the runway, but it is just a side profile of that little thin kind of wider heel with the lattice. I don't know another word to use for that. Caged. There we go. Like the caged mule. Fabulous. The cage reminds me of the YSL caged boots that were out a few years ago that are now an archive piece for sure. Okay, I still have my Nasty Gal version. Okay, but yeah, love these. I would love to get my hands on these. I also do enjoy these green and black heels. Now I do feel like I would get tired of the green because I do have a green handbag that's like that Bottega green. It's the same color green that I'm not sure about, but hey, if I get these shoes, maybe I'll keep that bag because these have a sling back, but I do like how they're a little sporty in my opinion. And then we have the black patent cap toe, and the heel height is not too high. It's also more of a cone heel, so it's a little thicker, and then it comes down into a more of a skinnier point. But yeah, I really enjoy those. Now lastly, let's get into all the bags that we saw on the runway. Okay, so here is a beautiful, I think this is raffia or either it's beaded. I can't tell. I actually do think this is raffia. Maybe. Yeah, raffia, but it's embroidered with crochet, kind of like appliques. This is cute, okay? Very cheeky, very fun. So again, it's giving like a medium flap. It does seem to be a single flap, so that could be a good thing because single flaps are usually less expensive. But this one does have like all of the like C detailing on it, and it's in crochet. And it's very cheeky. It's not quite something that I would spend that amount of money on, but I do like this. I love that it's, you know, black with the fun colors on top. I would love to see this in person. Next up, this bag took my breath away. This is alligator. I don't know if it's full alligator or if it's embossed, but it's that tote bag. It is blue and white, so it's mimicking the waves. And then we have just the Chanel logo. This is a beautiful tote. I do like the original tote as well that came in just like the burgundy, the black, and then of course that beautiful like turquoise color that everybody had. But This, well, not everybody had, but a lot of people wanted, you know. But this one is blue and white. This is fabulous. This is also a tote that you can wear on your shoulder, so I can appreciate that. I'm also noticing him coming out with more of the bowling bags. Like I mentioned, we have a burgundy bowling bag, and it just has like the gold Chanel logo. Very cute. It's given like a Boston bag style. And that Boston bag also comes in black, and I'm loving the chain detailing on the handle. And it looks like it has D-rings on the side, so you can add a longer chain as well. This would be a nice little travel bag in my opinion, but also something classic and fun enough to have in your collection. I really do enjoy that bowling bag. Really, really, really cute. I think it should be in more fun colors though. Okay, y'all. So let's get into the price point of the maxi shopping bag. That's what they call it. It is raffia and calfskin. So this is the beach tote that I was talking about. This one, the price point on this is $8,100.
Yeah.
Yep. So far on the website, they only have two colors. They have it in like a neutral tone. So it's going to be your classic raffia, the white, and then brown, and then a burgundy Chanel logo in leather. And then we have the green, blue, and yellow colorway with the black Chanel logo. I don't like these colors. I like the other ones where they have the smaller stripes that we saw on the runway. So I'm just curious if they will be available. Keep in mind, Chanel doesn't put everything on the website, so you may see other things in your stores. But this one again is $8,100 for the maxi. We also have this maxi flat bag that is given Finding Nemo. Okay, it looks like Nemo. Now on the website, this says that it is raffia and gold tone metal. I'm seeing fur. So I don't know if it's raffia underneath the fur and it's not leather underneath, maybe. But it's very much given like the shearling fur that I have from the shopping collection, 2014, I believe. So this one is a maxi flat bag. It's coming in at $9,800. Okay, I can see this being a collector's piece because it is like fun and unique, but I just, you know, it's not for me. Now, this is where I had pause. Okay, so we have these mesh bags. Now, this is a embroidered mesh bag, bucket style, leather, calfskin, you know, trim. This bag right here is going for $6,100 for mesh. You do get a pouch. You get a pouch. Okay, but yeah, that's a bit much. Now this bag I do think is one of the standout pieces. This is the small flap. It is complete mesh, kind of like, to me it looks more crochet, you know, like a knitted mesh, but this is mesh with the charms. It has like the cute little coral strap as well. It looks like so you can hold it top handle, but also the classic chain strap for shoulder wearing. I like this. I do like this. I feel like this is definitely going to be a collector's piece, very similar to like that sand handbag that was out, the clear one, plastic with the sand in it, similar to that. This is coming in at $10,100 though. I don't know. I don't know if these will hold their value in that way. That's very, very, very expensive. And then we have another large shopping bag. This is super cute, but it's given Alaya. This is a mesh tote that you can wear on your shoulder. So it's great for a beach bag or just to kind of trot around the city too if you have a lot of stuff. It has the classic chain straps. And then you also get a little pouch with this one. And this is coming in at $5,800. This is more doable. It is a lot for mesh, but $5,800 and it's very large. I can definitely see this one flying off the shelves. And last but not least, we had the mermaids at the end of the show, y'all. So we have this suit, which is a really cute jacket, but I can't tell if it's just sequins, but it's super textured. The craftsmanship is impeccable, okay? The bag is crazy. Same material. Woo! But yeah, you have the jacket and you have like the little cute ruffle collar, ruffle at the waist as well. And then you have just like your long kind of mermaid skirt. And then in the blue, we just have like a longer mermaid style dress. It's very understated though with a V. Not my favorite, but that handbag is crazy. Okay. Classic double flap, you can tell. So this is going to be very, very, very expensive if it does hit the shelves. And then of course I had to mention this coral reef dress. It looks so beautiful on the model skin tone. This is giving coral reef. Like, how beautiful is that? And it's just like an overlay on her body, and you can tell she has either maybe some swimwear underneath, I'm pretty sure, since it is cruise. But I mean, the price point on this is probably going to be crazy to have this as a cover up. This is something that you wear as a dress, and definitely a statement piece. And I'm just wondering the material, like if it would be hard to sit in. I don't know, but this looked really nice on the runway. Okay, y'all, so overall, I do feel like the cruise collection was very fun. It definitely was visually interesting, and it definitely brought some excitement to Chanel. I do feel like Chanel's price point has been going up, 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 and then things have just not been exciting. If anything, this was exciting. Now, is it going to be something that you're going to want to add to your collection? Did you see any pieces that you love? But like I said, I do feel like overall, this was a very visually interesting collection. Some pieces definitely worth investing in and adding to your collection. And I do feel like they can end up being archival pieces, but there were a lot that I would pass on. Number one, for the price point, and number two, just for the functionality of it all, they're not functional in my opinion. But I do enjoy the vision. I enjoy what's happening, and I'm excited to see more. Okay, I really am. So in the comment, let me know what you guys thought about Chanel's Cruise 2026-2027 collection under the direction of Matthieu Blazy. I'm very interested. I know there's been so much talk about like his new creations, the Chanel 25, all the things. So I really want to know what you guys were thinking, and how you are enjoying like his creative direction. Do you feel like he's really lost the plot, or do you feel like, you know what, I'm excited to see where this goes? Okay, or are you just like all in and you're like, everything he's doing is fabulous and I want all the parts? Very curious to hear your thoughts, y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the Fashion Edit series, and I will talk to you on my next one. Bye, y'all. She comfortable.